Well, hello everybody, this is Frogman and welcome back to Engineer's Life 2. We have been working on a few projects around the base, trying to get a few things going and fighting with various other little problems as we continue on playing through this rather fun and kind of interesting pack at this point. So let's start over here at this corner before we go look at what we did last episode. I may have figured out the problem with the wires. I think I might have finally figured out the problem with the wires, and it's all about math, and how you work things. So I don't even think I have my book on me. I do. Okay, so let's just check this out really quick, and then we can get on to what we need to do. We keep talking about these stupid wires, and we keep talking about these stupid wires, and I've never had this kind of a problem, or I don't remember having this kind of a problem where the point I need to talk about it over and over and over and over again. And HV wire is capable of doing 32,768 RF a tick, and that roughly equates out to a specific number of connectors, generally speaking, per wire. So what the biggest problem is, and if you guys notice there might be a change for a few things here, and we've been giving it a test. I've been playing for several hours today. This episode is likely going to go out very late because I've been having fun just trying to sort a few things out and continue to build some logistics. But if I got this sorted and figured, I think I'm going to feel a little bit better about what we're doing here. So if you notice, I have removed at least one connector, one output connector per capacitor that we have sitting in our little substation storage area thingy. And there's a reason for that. We had two connectors per each one of these capacitors, which means theoretically we had about 42, what was it, 42, 6, 44, math, where's calculator? Brain not capable of working at this point. 48,000 RF a tick output on that line. Now, theoretically, that does overdo the line. Technically, that overdid the line. But that really doesn't still make any sense because of the fact that nothing in this base yet has the capability of transferring that much power over that much time for that much kind of thing. We're just not doing it. But the availability was there. Now, I know immersive engineering has always been a little wonky. It's always had its little quirks. Ever since it was introduced, it's always had its little quirks. So it's some of the reason why we had some interesting issues with Manufactio and a few other little games, other packs that I've played. So let's just talk about that for a minute. Because the availability for 48,000-ish RF a tick was available because of all the connectors that we had connected to all of these capacitors, and it could supply it regardless of whether there was that much draw or not. It was blowing wires because of that, because that number was over 32,000 RF a tick. 32,000 RF a tick, this number, because that total maximum output that could be given out on that wire there, or that wire there, or whatever wire we're talking about, could blow it whenever it felt like. So that's standard immersive engineering, just I can't figure out why it does it. So what did I do? Well, I took a connector off of every single one of these capacitors. Theoretically, I'm going to keep using that word. Technically, we could go one more set of capacitors here with one single cable on the end of them so that we would equal the number, or I could just put two connectors on two of these capacitors and be at the 32,000 RF a tick that we could transfer through that wire, and it will never burn. All of that silliness, all that playing around, all that stupid. I'm going to find out next episode, once I close and log out of this world and come back to it, whether or not we burn wires, because it has been burning wires and burning wires and burning wires until I did that. Now, it's not possible for the massive amount of draw coming off of this system because of the separation we have between these two generators coming into the tops of all of these and about the amount of output that they can all produce. We can't burn that wire anymore because there's not enough power to burn the wire available. So hopefully that'll solve the problem, because I really kind of want to get into some more of the fun stuff that is in this pack. I mean, we've got all kinds of things and stuff that we can do. We haven't even gotten into the big reactors or extreme reactors. We haven't even gotten to play with some of the fun stuff that is here. We haven't gotten to do some of the other things that are going to be available in this pack because I keep fighting with the simplest little things. So I am going to go ahead and take a nap, and then we're going to talk about stuff. So, see you guys in the morning. Got to clear that off the screen, and I think we should be good to go. So, as far as everything else has been going on, I haven't done a whole lot other than, well, I haven't done a whole lot. I haven't done a whole lot in this end of the base other than continuously fighting with the wires. Now, have you noticed we've got both of our little generators up and running, and we're probably trying to suck down a few of these batteries, and hence the reasoning why I keep fighting with this, because once we start getting to a full load on the system, we burn wires and we burn wires. But so far, nothing has been going on, so, and I'm kind of happy with it so far. Anyhow, keep saying so far and you'll be fine. We have continued to extend the conveyor belt line as well as the power lines out that direction, and the reasoning is because of the fact that I have been busy playing with the stupid steel production system out here because of the fact that my brain again can't do math. So we're going to rework the direction for this little river right here because I had not intended on building anything in this little spot, and now that we have something in that spot, I'm going to have to kind of redo this section because I do want to have access. I think we're probably going to run the road across to here and then jump, and then the entrance to that building is going to be right over there. So let's go talk about what's going on other than that. I've gone ahead and run all this stuff over here as well. We have a little line that goes all the way out, and I think this building is going to move possibly over to this section, or it's going to get bumped this direction so that we can kind of maintain this directional stuff. We're going to put a bridge probably right here and probably right over here. I don't know. I'm going to have to redo some terraforming and figure out how I want the water, because the water is going to play part of the game that we do, especially here very soon. What we're going to be doing is putting a little bit of pollution into the water over there just as soon as I feel like figuring out how to make it work. So let's jump across the water here and see what we have done, or at least what I did in between episodes. So as you guys notice, there are now 8 coke ovens here, and that's mainly because of the fact that 4 coke ovens will not support 2 coke ovens, and we're still just barely catching up. I mean, like, I keep having to do that occasionally, but we're getting there. So I think 8 will suffice on the speed, and I think everything should be functional at that point. So again, it's just another one of those, I don't tend to do math on games like this unless I absolutely have to. I just keep adding on the ability to make something until I either get an extra amount of it, or I just finally get tired of looking at it. So on this wall over here, if you notice also, we have added in a second crusher because of the fact that I was not able to process coal and iron quickly enough to be able to get them both done, because of the fact that machine over there singularly stuffs it's going to be down to the supply of the materials, the ores that we have back there, as to why this is the way that it is. So this does all the coal, this does the iron, and then a few other things have been happening up there. There's an item router that sorts out the nickel ore and sends it out to the rest of the network so that it can be processed over there in the ore processing area. The trash can up there is for the sulfur that we get out of the coal, and the sulfur down here, there's also an item router that gets sulfur that puts it into that trash can over there. And as you notice, we're not running coal right now because I managed to get some really cool stuff going on, and I wanted to talk about this stuff because it's not something I realized was in gauges and switches. So let's look at this. Gauges and switches. Gauges and switches apparently has some things that I've been wanting for a really long time, and it's something that you can also find in RF Tools. RF Tools has lots of mods have redstone, especially wireless redstone, and cool little things like that. Gauges and switches has wireless redstone in the form of switch link receivers, switch link analog switch. There are multiple different types of them for that matter. If you want an analog or a pulse link transmitter or just a regular transmitter or whatever, as well as the receivers for these things. There's some other really cool things too, and what we're doing is we're doing a little bit of magic here between 2 different mods to make this stuff work. We're using an industrial comparator switch, which is basically it's a programmable comparator, which is really cool. It's got 3 or 4 different input variables that you can use, so it can either read an inventory, it can read an empty slot or a full slot, it can read an comparator output, or it can read a redstone signal output, all that kind of stuff, and then do some logic, just simple logic, by either turning on or off in order to be able to do that kind of stuff. So on the backs of these drawers right here, I have several of those guys, and if I click on it, you guys are going to see right there That'll go away in a second, but hello, let me have it. On level 12, off level 6, power 15, and redstone signal strength. In every one of these drawers, as I hate this, give me that. And we break things, put it back. Where is my switch? That gave me the pearls. And now I got to figure out which pearl is which. Anyhow, we can program this up. So basically what we're doing here is, because we're using this in redstone sensor mode, and it's not going to hurt anything at this point, what we want to do is we want to set the, set the off level to about 8 and the on level to about 12 or so. So more or less, I don't want to go anything higher than a redstone level of 12. And of course, I want to make sure we're set on free inventory redstone signal strength. And as you notice, it's off now. That's mainly because of the fact that it thinks it's off. The biggest problem is this one is the other target for the thing. So this was a test one that I actually couldn't, I don't remember where I put it. I lost this one, so we'll just put him in here. But basically what you do with these, once you use them in a redstone mode, or should say a redstone sensor mode like what this one is on, then you can link this to a receiver using a switch link pearl. And a switch link pearl, which this one states his target is 49 blocks away, you take an ender pearl, you click it on the receiver end of it, which will turn it into one of these switch link pearls, and then you take the switch link pearl and you put it in the thing. So now that thing knows where to tell all the information to, and if we run over here to where the coal mine is, or the coal excavator, which is up on top of this hill over here, and I've yet to finish working on the wiring over here, but we'll get the wiring done a little bit better as we go. Because of the thing is it's lower than what it, because like I said, if we looked over there, we saw the light was off on that crate, or that drawer, then it's going to transmit a signal to this industrial switch link receiver. Gosh, I cannot spell, which will then push redstone into that block. And then also blow us across the map. Let me go get my stuff. I have got to remember to look up. I set this system up specifically so I didn't have to mess with things, and then of course things like that happen. So let's go ahead and put our stuff away. I get these. I've got one of these. We're gonna have to play with that. I guess I have to make that into something, but I've just got it setting in there for now. It's one of those eventual things we'll do. Anyhow, let's roll over here. And we'll go back and look at some of this other stuff. So those switch link receivers, or at least the receivers and all the wonderful fun stuff like that, means that we don't have to do a few things. Oh, I love it. It's clear up here. We don't have to do a few things, which means I don't have to run redstone wiring from here all the way the heck over there. So the other thing I wanted to do here also, and they're kind of cool, is these little glass redstone tube gauges. They at least give you an idea of when you're on. So it's like 10, 5, 10, and then we should be about, what is that, 11 or 12, something along those lines. And that allows me to kind of be able to guess what we're doing here. So that number should be good. They are all the same except for the this one over here, the one that is going to be running the coal coke currently, is attached up there, and I have this clicked so that it will invert the signal. And then what we're doing is we're telling all these export cables requires redstone, so that's putting out a redstone signal that is turning on all those export cables on all of these. And that number should be low enough that even if we do fill up this barrel or this drawer right here, that even all of those guys running, it won't really matter anyway. I just don't feel like overrunning the system, and I don't need it to be doing anything. Now, it's one of those, we don't have to do that because of the fact that this will only keep things backstuffed, and this will only allow things to be pulled out and put into that inventory, so I don't necessarily need that, but I put it on there for the fun of it. That way we'll be able to watch it. And should we want to do a few other things, we can do a few other things around that. So it's working. Again, it's just needing its time to get caught up on the amount of stuff that we make. And I've been kind of fiddling around with getting a few things to work correctly. And it's just another one of those little projects that you kind of just fight with it until it eventually does what you want it to do. So the one more last little thing here that I kind of just realized that we could do is, since you're able to do a little bit of measuring with a redstone probe connector from Immersive Engineering, Well, that means I'm only ever going to need one tank of this, ever. I'm only going to ever keep one tank, and we're going to keep the level to the level of that redstone probe connector. So what it's going to do is as soon as it senses something, it's going to set a redstone signal down to the bottom of the tank, which will then dump the excess into that liquid trash can until it gets below the level of that probe connector, and then we're done. So, alrighty then. I think the only other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is the issue that I think we're going to run into, and it's going to run into really quick. We're not really quickly, but it's going to run into something. We're going to have a problem with it, and the problem is the simple thing is the iron ore that we're getting right here. This is a 30-30. Was it 35-35-35-30 split between that nickel and sulfur, which means we're only going to get 35% of the whatever's in it now, 29,000 ores. 30% of that, or 10,000 ores-ish, more or less, is going to be how much iron we're going to get out of that. So no matter what we do, how long we ever play this, we're only ever going to get 20,000 steel out of this excavator before we're going to have to go look for more iron. Now, the coal, that's a 30,000%. It's going to be pretty much all coal, and again, there's another coal up there. But I may have to start looking for another iron deposit, just depending on how much steel we want to play. This is not one of those packs where I have to create a lot of stuff to be able to feed a factory to do a few things. We're only doing this for the fun of it. We're literally only doing this whole thing for the fun of it. So, let's see. Let's go ahead, take a nap, and then we'll work on today's big project that I want to get to work on, finally. Alrighty then. So, we have been kind of putting off making something out of something that is in the ground over here in this little line of stuff that we have here. And we're going to need to look at why we actually want to kind of look at that direction. So let's look at becoming engineer and looking at some of this stuff over here. Is an interesting thing. We haven't touched this. I could go do that right now if we wanted to, and we can for sure start working on it. But let's kind of go this direction for fun. So up to this point, this tingling metal has been pretty useless. I wonder wonder if it could be processed to be a better material. Perhaps I should dissolve the grit in some gasoline, and see what I can extract. Now that's an interesting thing. So what happens when we take that uranium grit and, mix it with gasoline? Well, that's how we get yellorium dust. And of course, we all know yellorium dust and a little bit of nether quartz, which we're going to have to start really doing something about this nether quartz here pretty soon, is how we're going to get yellorium ingots. And that is going to be how we're going to be able to make some of the stuff that goes with, or at least fuel our reactors, should we ever decide to get to that point. Go away. So that's something we're going to need to look at. Well, you get gasoline from refining crude oil. And gasoline is one of the ones that I believe you actually get quite a bit of from, the various processes that come with crude oil. So I did a little bit more prospecting, did a little bit more messing around, and we have, well, like I said, I think this one had like 12 or 13,000 buckets of oil in it, and I think this one, can I have it please, has 4,000 buckets of oil in it. Between this one and all the way down over there, we've got about 30 or 40,000 buckets of oil right straight through these little chunks. And I kind of quit when we hit the river over there, and I think it kind of goes in underneath the cows as well, although they're all kind of the same chunk. I mean, I think like this chunk over here might have some in it too, but I didn't go ahead and test it. We don't need to worry about it. So let's do the thing that you do when you get to start playing with this kind of stuff, which is we're going to go ahead and start into oil today. We're also going to be able to use the oil to produce a little bit more power without having to do this mess anymore. So this is always going to be running here. We're probably always going to have at least 2 of those generators running off of that process just because I built it. I'm not going to rip it down, and it's always there. It's just all I got to do is, well, feed that cow poop, and we have continuous fuel. I want my projector, which is right there, and I also think we might want a few of those. I am going to go ahead. We're going to build the pump jack first, get it found where we need it, and we're probably going to have to locate a couple of things. So because these 2 are right here, I would really kind of like to be able to necessarily build 2 of them if we need to. So we're going to build one right now, and then if I need to build another one, I will. I don't want to put more than one pump jack in any one chunk, even though technically you can put more than one pump jack in a chunk and drain that chunk faster. We're going to try to not do that. So we'll probably end up putting one right here, and then I'll probably put one down there by the cows at a later date. So we want a pump jack, and pump jack, is this already on the pump jack? Selection mode. No, it's on the crusher. It looked like it was on the pump jack. They're kind of similar, at least in shape and size. Now, this one doesn't matter where you put this. This is from a secondary mod that is not the same as the current immersive engineering where you have to go hunt for things. You find the oil in the old-fashioned method. So I think I want to put you right there. We'll just go with that. And then, poof. No. Hit the button. Thank you. All right, and then I have a box full of stuff that we get to make a few things out of. So, where is my projector? And what is this? A rock? Let's build a few of these things. Not like we don't do this all the time on this channel. Building things all the time. Put that away, put that away, put that away, put that away. We need a little bit of pipe. Already got some pipe. I need some treated wood fence. I need I think it's light engineering and a few of these. The rest of this is going to be for the refinery plus some tanks. So we're going to go ahead and get those moving. I don't want your seeds, please. Thank you. Give me that and just do the simple thing. That's not working. Oh, for Pete's sake. You, here, have fire. You like fire? Thank you. They have a lot of hit points. Okay, well, let's just toss all that out of our way. We're trying to be cute and not make a mess, but whatever. Build some stuff. Light engineering block. Scaffolding. And pipe. Because, yeah, I think we're probably going to try to burn off a bunch of the excess fuel and whatnot that we're going to get using more diesel generators in a way that I don't really want. Normally I wouldn't. Normally I don't try to try to use the oil as a way of powering things because it does eventually go away. And you talk about thousands of buckets of stuff. It's not really that much. If you think about it, it's not really that much. It's one thing that like Manufactio for sure taught me was how not much several thousand buckets of oil can be. So you're like, wow, that's a lot of oil. No, it's not. It doesn't last very long. So pick you up, and then a couple of those, and a couple of those. And I keep forgetting sheet metal. Give me sheet metal. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that, and that, and that should be everything for there. Let's get the hammer out, and I think I whacked the button on the back there. Okay, cool. Let's do... I think what I'm going to do, and the issue I've got right now is I'm trying to figure out where I want to go with this. We're likely going to build another one of these right here, likely, just so that I can have, you know, plenty of 16,000 RF a tick for right now. This section may or may not live, but this section, if we're going to use anything to do with any kind of oil as far as making uranium into yellorium, if we're going to do anything about that, we're going to still have to burn off or trash, so let's say burn off or trash, the excess fuel we're going to get, which means we're going to get lubricant, I forget what it does. Let me see. Oil. I think we can do this way. Oil, immersive petroleum. We'll get lubricant, sulfurized diesel, and gasoline. Lubricant, sulfurized diesel, and gasoline. Okay, and that's what I thought I was going to see is a whole lot of it. So 75 millibuckets of crude oil is going to make us a little bit of diesel, a lot of gasoline, and a little bit of lubricant. Now the lubricant, what we're going to do with the lubricant is we're going to pump it back into, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we'll probably put a lubricant line up on a system such as this. You know, we'll hang another pipe on these. And then we'll send the lubricant to our excavators if we can, and then that will give them just a little bit of a boost. It's not something I want to do, but it's something that we are going to, try to incorporate into the system so that we can get rid of it. I don't want to trash it if I don't need to. So we got this one ready to go, and if I go ahead and plug it in, I'm going to have to go run wiring from somewhere, and I still haven't run the wiring out here yet. Let's go ahead and think about this. So you need to go there, and this goes on the end of that post, and then we can hook some wiring up. I think the refinery is going to live right here where we're working, so we need to run the wire anyway. Seriously. Seriously, guys. Man, they're just... Closer we get to this thing, the more they keep spawning. I'm about to go ahead and just... Hello. I am about to go ahead and just set up a mob farm for this. Thank you. I'm about to just go ahead and set up a mob farm for that because it's just going to, as long as I'm on this side of it, it's just going to sit there and spawn them. Except it's such a huge area they spawn in. We might just go ahead and get a lantern and put it out here just so that they'll quit bothering us. Actually, I'm surprised that we never put the lantern out here anyway. Anyhow, come on, continue on. You're sitting here screwing around. These people are here to watch you build stuff, not listen to you fight these idiots. All right, we need to go over there, which means I guess I might as well go within a block. Oh, I love it. Hilarious. So that's got to go over here. Where is it? Can I get you to walk into this? Can I get you to walk into that? Ooh, I'm going to have to be careful with that one. We may need to put no, we're going to put a power pole on that. All right, dude. Can I get you to bounce up into it? This thing's got, come on, bounce into it. No. All right, whatever. Nap time. Let's catch ourselves and regroup. All right, so that should give us some stuff. That'll give us a few other things. I'm going to go ahead and run the line that I want to run. So this to here to here. Can I just crawl up this, please? No, apparently not. And then I think I can't break those, so we're going to have to do something else entirely. Where is my thing? Backpack? It's not in here, is it? It's over there. Shoot! Gotta quit putting things where you don't want to leave them. Copy, paste, building gadget. Actually, I think I tried this and it didn't work, did it? We can give it a try, but I don't think it's going to work. It did work. Good deal. Okay, cool. We'll just build these little pipes over here to this corner. And then what we can do is just drop that right down somewhere from there into the refinery or whatever this thing is called. So next big project. This is a big thing. So we need to go ahead and find the distillation tower and hit confirm on that and then decide how we want this to look. Distillation tower is a royal pain in the butt to use, mainly because of the fact that it outputs 3 different fluids from one output. And if I remember correctly, the input is if I remember correctly, the input is going to be, I don't remember now. Can we see it from the projector? Hang on, selection mode. Can we see it from the projector? Okay, so the output is the tall pipe. The input is right there. Okay, so the input is where the little bitty pipe is right there. I want the output to face... I guess we could put it that direction. I was just trying to say, I think what we might do is we'll do it not like that. That's the input or the output. The input should be right there. I think we're going to try it maybe right like this. Right there. How big is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, cool. So give me a little bit of this so I know where it's at. Everything is going to get built on a platform because it looks better that way. Nope, not that. This. Did I not make it big enough? Probably not. How about that? Oh, come on. Right there. We'll do it right there. Thank you. All right, cool. Build some more stuff. Holy cow, the stuff in my inventory. Where's your box? I need the box that is over here. Alrighty then, that should be everything. Yeah, we're going to have to do something because they're spawning way out here. I may just have to do something about this whole area and maybe make it completely spawn proof, or I'll have to see, because the nearest lantern I think is right there. So 60 some odd blocks, that might not be enough to be covering some of that. But anyhow, we're done here. We have a friend down there waiting on us. I wonder if we could just like belly jump down on top of him, but nope. Where'd you go? Where did you go? Hi. Wow. Love it. All right, let's click the button on this. I think it's going to be somewhere. I don't remember where. Where is it? Is it the redstone block? There it is. Alrighty then. The refinery. And this is the business end of the other thing that we're going to be doing this direction. So we'll be able to actually, that's exactly pretty much how I wanted it. All right, so that's going to be the refinery. The output is going to exist over here, which means we're going to be tanking things up this direction. So let's see. There shouldn't be anything left in here except for some of this. I want to possibly just go ahead and build a little bit of a floor right here. All of a sudden, we're getting a bunch of lags. I don't know why I'm getting a bunch of lags. Go away, lags, please. That dude should be able to easily deal with the output that comes out of that pump jack. So we may end up having to do a little bit more. Like I said, more pump jacking will be more production. Just depends on how much we think we need to have. So we'll go ahead and build us a little platform right here, and then I'm going to build 3 output tanks for this system. So I should be able to do this, and this. And where is my copy paste gadget? We're only going to build this once. Thank you. So I need that and that and this and that. I just kind of want to get this little part done, and then we're going to end the episode. It's going to be I've been at this all day, and I've been trying to get this over with and hopefully enjoy a little bit of some New Year's time, because it's going to be New Year's today, New Year's Eve today. For some of you, you're already celebrating it, but god dang it, up there. So let's do this, that, this. I mean, these are relatively simple to build, and I probably could just go find one in the world right now. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be it. Cover it. Copy, paste, gadget. Let's go like this. Reset, and then G, copy. And all I should need to do is say, we'll start down here. So you, and you. That should copy the whole area. Paste it, and that should let me see it kind of like so. And hammer, which is in my inventory. Tank. Nice. Okay. And then the fun part, and the reason why we've got a little bit of scaffolding here, is so that we can kind of do a little bit of work. So let's take a nap before we get shot again. And get up here and set these things. Now, these are a royal pain in the butt, and it may not function the way that we want it to function. Sometimes you can get lucky, and sometimes you can't. So we're going to go ahead and put a fluid router on the tops of every single one of these tanks. And then what we're going to do is we're going to decide that the yellow side doesn't matter. So bottom side here, I want to put a, let's see, I need... let's say gasoline. Let's just put the gasoline out on this end. Bottom, I should be able to grab one of these. Can I grab that one? Excellent. Okay. That's going to go in the bottom. So that means gasoline goes down the bottom of this one. Again, on this side, I'm not really concerned about it because the pipes act differently than the conveyor belts do. So I'm not worried about not saying anything on whatever side we're going to put this in on. We're actually going to put it in, I believe, up here. So just that way it lines up with the output and looks decent. So we're going to do that. And then this one is going to be, we're going to do lubricant here. I believe lubricant on the bottom, and then this one is going to be the sulfurized diesel. Sulfurized diesel, bottom, done. All right, so then all we need to do is connect these up, and then I don't want to do that. No. Can I just? Where's my thing? Has it still got this on it? Yes. Sweet. And it shouldn't connect to that pipe because it's now technically part of a multi-block. I mean, if we do, we can just move it over one if it causes a problem, but it doesn't look like it's connecting. So let's go down and pick up the box. All right, so we're going to need a box actually on this side. What's in this box? For now, we'll just take this out. This box can be the output for now. This is going to be one of my favorite production problems right there coming out of that little section. We all know what that is. And then the intake is going to need to come around the corner and in. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That'll get us a little bit more decoration. I think we're out of pipe though. Where's your box? Do you not have any more pipe? We use quite a bit of pipe doing this. It's always a lot of pipe, seems like. Crap. All right, I'll be back. Boop. And boop. Alrighty, cool. So we should now have the ability to be able to make a little bit of oil once we hook a little bit of power into this block right here. So let's see. HV wire relay there, wire connector, and then we're going to put a relay up above our heads. So I think I can put one right there. Yes, that'll work. That's great. Let's get us some HV wire coils. Connect that to there. Connect you to here. And wonder why this is not working. Yeah, we're going to have to put some lanterns out here just to get them to stop doing that. Why do we not have any power? Why do we not have any power? Did I not connect it all? I didn't. Look at me. Gosh dang it. Simple, easy troubleshooting. Make worky work now. All right, you're making oil now. Beautiful. Are we making stuff now? That is the input, right? Yep, up. It's green. And it's not going to be able to show us much of anything. Where is a bucket? Sulfurized diesel, lubricant, and gasoline. All righty then, cool. That means I need to go shut the steel off and let this run for a little while because that thing right there by itself takes up at least one of those diesel generators. But we should be able to now do a little bit of don't. Thank you. We should now be able to do a little bit more work with our newly found fluids that we get to play with. So sulfurized diesel, this thing may or may not be able to run one of those by itself, but we'll have to play around with it. But the sulfurized diesel, we get into the next section of some of the fun stuff. So what are we short? A bucket of crude oil. Of course we're short a bucket of crude oil. Give me a bucket of crude oil so we can end this episode finishing that thing out. Where's the tank? I know I've got one. Where is it? Give me a tank. Almost had enough. And a bucket. Thank you. Give me my lava back. Awesome. Cool. All right, we can hook this all back up and we can call it an episode. I'm going to let this run for a little while and hopefully do a little bit more tuning and pruning around base, but as we can start to see, things are starting to fill in, which means we're going to start doing a few things hopefully with this area pretty soon. And maybe when we get a little bit more power, we can hook up a few more excavators and actually make this little building or this little processing facility right here actually do a few things. So, all right, guys, I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to do some more with this, and we might start playing with a little bit of, I don't know, radioactive material. Bye, guys.